Hello everybody, it's Wednesday and it's Wobblegob episode 66. I hope you enjoyed my little visit to the Himalayan Gardens. That was done actually just before I did the last Wobblegob, and when I'd done it all and uploaded it I realised I hadn't shared my little trip, so I thought that'd be quite a nice way to start a Wednesday. So I've got my cuppa and I thought I'd just come and have a chat to you about what I have been up to. It's been super busy. This week, the beginning of the week was quite bonkers. It's calmed down now because I've done all the packing. Well, nearly all of it. Because it's Yarndale this weekend. So on Saturday and Sunday in Skipton in North Yorkshire at the Auction Mart, there is a fantastic yarn and textile and all sorts of things there. It's where they sell the sheep and the cattle and things like that, and all the pens get turned into shops, and I will be there all weekend. You can still get tickets. I think you can get you can just buy on the door, I think, after 12 o'clock, and it's fantastic just to meet like-minded people and maybe do a bit of shopping. And yeah, there's animals there, loads of different sheep. There's usually really cute sheep. There's regular people that go, there'll be new people, new stands, and it's just fantastic. It's such a lovely way to set off the autumn, really, with everything that's going on. So I've been a bit bonkers, and I just thought, you know what, this morning I'm just going to get my cuppa, come and have my breakfast, and then just get the Wobblegob recorded and just share with you what I've been up to. So, weather forecast for Brighouse. It's lovely and blue outside. If you hadn't gone outside, you'd think it was going to be quite warm, but actually, we're getting chilly. It's layer time, and I made my first homemade soups as well at the weekend, which was yummy. Oh, I love this season for soup. Yeah. Oh, drop us a note if you've got a really good recipe for winter autumn soups. I did one, I think it was from the Good Foods. Is it Good Food? It was like a chickpea, and it had like it had cumin seeds and chilies that was like the base. It got a little bit of a kick to it, and oh, it was delicious, absolutely delicious. So yeah, if you've got any good soups, let me know. Anyway, that's by the by. So I'm going to start with my quote, because that's going to sort of explain what today's Wobblegob is about, really. And it's sort of explaining how I come up with ideas for stuff that's nothing to do with my sewing or anything like that. So Van Gogh said, "I dream of painting and then I paint my dreams." Now that sounds like a bit of a weird thing to say, but actually when I'm sort of semi-conscious and I'm coming to, I do a lot of planning in my sleep. And usually I'm quite good when I wake up of remembering it, so I have a notebook next to my bed so that I can jot down anything that I've been thinking of. The other place that I do a lot of thinking is when I'm having a shower as well in the morning, and do a bit of a plan of everything that's going on. And I've just redecorated my main bathroom. So the main bathroom in the house, I've just redecorated it. And I was trying to think of what I was going to do. So in the past, it's been a bit more sort of, it has like botanical prints in it, and Neve wanted it to be a bit more plant-based and everything like that. Whereas now I'm a little bit like, right, I'm taking charge of my bathroom. And one of the places that I love to be, and I think I've talked about this before, is on a beach. On a beach, it's where I feel calm, connected, I do a lot of thinking, and yeah, I absolutely love it. And on the Yorkshire coast, there's lots of places with beach huts. So it's beach huts that sort of came into my head to start off with. And it just so happened, and I always think things happen for a reason, that Ali Ferguson was coming down for a 2-day workshop, and we were doing tenements. I've done this workshop before. I'll pop a picture. I'll go take a picture of my tenements that I did that's in my downstairs loo. And it was when we were away, this sort of idea came into my head, when we were away on holiday in Wales. We did a little walk on a beach, and there were some lovely beach huts. And I think it's in Nevin. And I started taking pictures of them. I always take pictures of beach huts. Some of my favourites are down at Wells next to the sea. But I love some of the ones in the East Yorkshire coast, and I just love how they're really individual and quirky and stuff like that. So it started like thinking, oh, if Ali's coming and we're doing tenements, I wonder if I could do beach huts. So back to my dreaming of stuff. So it sort of all came about after I'd been to Staithes. So Staithes is on the East Yorkshire coast. Robert had done a massive walk, 41 miles. I didn't do that, I was at home. But I got the train out to Saltburn, and we had a lovely walk on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday we went down into Staithes, and there's lovely little arts and crafts shops there. It's a lovely little harbour, and we had a bit of a wander around, and there's the arts and crafts centre, and we went in. And I went in because a lady that I know, Eliza, who will be at Yarndale, has a little area in there. So there's lots of little artists have got little areas. And as we were walking around, I came to this bit by an artist called Lucy Wilson. And the first thing that drew me in about her work was these painted pebbles. They were absolutely beautiful. And I was like, oh, they'd be really nice on the windowsill in the bathroom. And then Robert pointed out the painted fish. So this piece of work is sort of going to be called It All Started With a Fish. So these are my little painted fish that I got that Lucy had done. And they're just so quirky. I love this one. They've got such character. And when I'd got them, I thought, oh, it sort of reminds me of when I used to watch Coronation Street back in the day. And is it Hilda Ogden? Is that what she was called? Don't know if I've got that right or if that's the wrong soap. But she had 3 ducks that went up the wall. And I got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about having 3 fish going up the wall. So that was the original plan, was just to get these and have the 3 fish going up the wall. And on the windowsill in the bathroom now, I've got some glass vases that got my driftwood in and things like this. And then in my dream, I was thinking about these fish, and I thought, oh, actually, behind the toilet, there's just a blank bit of wall. And it'd be quite nice to do something there. And then the 3 picture frames that I've got, I might do an actual piece of artwork. I'm not really done any drawing and painting for quite a while. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I think I might have a go at painting some beach huts. And there's an artist called Mateus Urbanowicz who did these shop fronts in, I think it's Japan. And did that. Sorry, that was my phone that just beeped at me. Let's turn that sound off. And we used to do a project at school where the students would go out and look at shop fronts and do a shop front in the style of Urbanowicz. So I thought, right, I'm going to have a go at doing beach huts. So I'd got my fish. I thought, right, I'll do some drawing of my beach huts. And I'd got a Sunday afternoon. It was raining, and it was a lovely afternoon because there was me, Harriet, her boyfriend Alex, Neve, and I don't know where Robert was. I think he kept nipping in and out. But we got ourselves set up on the kitchen table, and everybody was just doing something different. So I started doing my little beach hut drawings. So they sort of start off, these 2 are not finished, with a pencil outline of the beach hut. And then I started working with gouache just to create these backgrounds, and they're going to be a triptych. So they're going to go across. So I was making sure that my horizon lines and my beach lines were all sort of matching. So these were these ones. And then they're not quite finished, but this is sort of how they're going to look afterwards. This one's just about done. So the next layer that I do is I start layering up more colours, and then I go into it with my graphite dissolvable blocks, and then pens and fine things and stuff like this, and then little outlines and stuff like that. So the idea is that these are going to be a triptych that go across the wall in the kitchen, in the bathroom. So that was that idea. And then when I was doing that, I was like, oh, this would be quite nice inspiration for my tenements beach huts. So I was like, oh, what's it going to look like then in the bathroom? And then it started growing. So this was me doing my planning. So these are my little triptych. Those are my little pictures there. And then I decided that what I was going to do was I was going to get a little printer's tray to go on the wall that I could put maybe pebbles and shells in. I've got typeset that says to the beach, then I'm going to have my beach huts, and then my 3 fish going up. So that's the plan. And then I was just doing little doodles about little ideas of what I could do, other little bits and pieces. That was me just making sure that I ordered the right number of letters. And then we had Ali that came, and hopefully you've seen on my Instagram or Facebook, and I'll put some pictures there, the development sort of the blocks as we were doing them. So here we go. I've still got a couple of bits just to glue in, but these are my beach huts. I've got my little kite. So we've got Hutty McHutface, we've got Serenity, Shellyer, Sandy Retreat and Zenden. So I just thought I had to give them all little names. Mr. B cut me my ladders out, bless him. So I've got my little ladders. The thing that I really like about these is actually when I've took pictures of them, because of the way that I've done the roofs, even though it's all flat, these actually feel like they're in front and that those beach huts are sort of behind. And I've got my little seagull there, Sid. Yeah, so that's that. So I'm really, really excited. One of my jobs today is to try and get it all up on the wall. So if I can get that done before I upload this, I'll pop some pictures on here. Otherwise, I'll pop it on my social media. So yeah, so I'm going to have, don't know, he'll get like that, and then somehow, I'm not quite decided yet what order these are going to go in. But then there's going to be my little fish somehow. Not quite sure whether to do, because my kite's there. Not quite sure, but anyway, my 3 fish will go against the wall, and then I'll have the bit that goes underneath. So that's what I've been doing this weekend, which has been absolutely delightful. Just lovely sometimes. I'm still a massive sucker for a workshop. I love a workshop. Sometimes, I mean, like with this one, I've done this one before with Ali, so I sort of had a bit of an idea and a bit of a plan, and sort of knew what was coming. But I love learning new things. It's like my big thing this year has been learning crochet. I'm still not perfecting it, and I don't want to perfect it. That's not why I like to learn things. I like to learn things, learn a technique, and then sort of make it my own. So technical things like the name of I don't know, the stitch or something like that, it sort of evades my brain, because I sort of I know what I'm doing. It's like when I used to do embroidery stitches, a lot of the stitches that I used to do before we did the 52 stitches, I couldn't remember the names of, and even now I'll do a stitch and I have to check. I have a big board up here that has the list of the stitches on, and I have to check the name, because I get so carried away with what I'm doing. I don't always think, oh, I'm going to talk technical. So yeah, but I just love learning. I love learning and then thinking, right, what can I do with that? How can I develop that myself and make it my own? So yeah, and as well, if people come on my workshops, that's what I'd like them to do as well, is learn things and then put their own twists on it and make it their own. That's why we love doing these things. It's just about learning new stuff. So that was that. And then what else have I got on my list? I've mentioned Yarndale. Oh, if you go and check out my Instagram and Facebook, sorry, I just have a quick slurp. I'm doing a giveaway on both for a pair of free tickets to Harrogate's Knit and Stitch. You can enter on both. You just have to go on and like my page, like the Knitting and Stitching show page, and then tag a friend that you would like to share the ticket with, and I will be drawing the winners out on Monday at 6 o'clock. Sorry if you can't get over to the UK to the show. Obviously I will share everything about the show when I get there, but I've also got Textile East that's just before then, which is down Newark Races, no, Newmarket. Oh, this is where, you know, when I talk about like my brain and it doesn't always function properly, I think it's because I have so many things flying around my brain. I doubt myself, and if things sound similar, then I get very, very confused. So I'm double checking this one because I don't want to tell you to go to the wrong place. It's Newmarket, right? Newmarket. So it's at the Rowley Mile Racecourse, Cambridge Road, Newmarket. and that is the 18th and 19th of October. So that one's a new venue, gorgeous fair. So I'm really excited about that one. If you check out their website as well, they've got quite a few new people coming this year. Yes, so that's that ticket giveaway. I've done my painting, I've done my quote. Right, so the only other thing then that I've just got to share with you is Ink and Tonic is a new section in my shop that I am beginning to develop alongside the Ink and Tonic group. You don't have to be a member of the group to do any shopping, which I think is quite nice. So things that are on there at the moment are the paint palettes. I've only got a sample of that one because I've sold out of the other ones at the moment. So these paint palettes, so this one looks just like that one. It's blue and it has magnets on it. It's just that that's the size. I haven't got the magnets in that one because it was just when we were doing some sample tests. But this is one that's done. So I have this with my paints in. So these are my watercolours, so I can take these out and about. They come with a clip just to hold them together when you're working with it. That's also quite handy because you can clip it on your book or on a board or anything like that. You can use them separately. So with these, you just squeeze your watercolours into the palettes, and then when you come to use it, it just reactivates when you're out and about. So it saves you taking loads of tubes of watercolours if you're out. If you're doing a particular project, you can have a little colourway on them, and these last such a long time. I mean, I think I've been using this one most of the summer. This is a mixing palette at this side, and then when you're done, you need to let them dry because you don't want them to go mouldy, and the magnets just clip them together, and you've just got them just in your art kit, I suppose. So that's the big one. That's the size of the small one. It's just, it comes in blue, not the beige. This was just a test one, and obviously that magnets together. It's just got a couple of wooden inlays. If you do get these, one thing I will say is don't soak them in water because this is wood, and obviously it'll either swell or pop out or whatever. So if you do need to clean them, it's a case of just keeping the water on this side and not soaking them in. So that's one of the first things that's gone on the shop. I've also got packs of deli paper. For those people that are members of Ink and Tonic, that was about making your own sorts of washi tapes. They're new things that will be coming up because one of the next workshops I've got on there is bookmaking. So we've designed some little bookmaking tools. So these are the T shapes that you use to make sure that you've got your borders the same sorts of size, and then you've got a corner mitre jig for making sure that you do your corners. So that's quite exciting that that's there. And then the other thing that's just landed is the Ink and Tonic notebook, because whenever I'm working and I've got my books, I usually have a notebook next to me because when I'm working I'm thinking. So this is like for me for jotting stuff down. So on the back it says, and so a new adventure begins, let's turn the first page together. And this one's book one, and my intention is probably to get maybe one of these every year. I don't know whether or not I'll fill it. I think it's got 80 pages in it. But I do a lot of planning and things like that in notebooks. So this is all the Ink and Tonic stuff that's coming. There's going to be a water pot coming soon as well. And all sorts of things. As I move through the project, we'll be looking at maybe designing and creating other bits and pieces as well. So that's Ink and Tonic. This group and all my groups you can join at any point. So you've got Bobbing Along, What's Sewing On, and now Ink and Tonic. This one is a very open-ended, it's not really a project, it's just a prompt every month to keep you going with your book. But the idea with this one is it becomes a bit more of a resource for you just to dip in and out of. And each month I'll be adding new little workshops on there, projects, little things, ideas and stuff like that for you to do. What's Sewing On and Bobbing Along, obviously the projects do run from January to Christmas because it's a year-long project, so that makes sense. But you can join at any point. So if you join the Bobbing Along, you get the 52 projects. So there are the tags, the flags, the stitches, the blocks. This year is the word, and then I've got coming up later on this year the plan for next year, which is 52 circles. And I've just started planning that, and I'm very, very excited about that. So if you join that group, basically you have 52 videos a year, and you can do them in any order. It might be that you think, I'm not going to do them in order. I'm going to get a number generator on my phone and just pick a number. You might even mix and match. So you might do something from I don't know, you might do tag 15 and then stitch 25, and you might mix and match. So that's all on there for you to be able to do that. If you go to the What's Sewing On group, you get that 52 tags plus the stitching hour. That's a year-long project again, but that's 12. It's a slightly bigger project. The idea with that is the prompt, you've got the month to work on that. So this year we have been stitching on an item of clothing. Last year we did, I think there were block canvases, so there were 12 individual pieces of work. The year before we did a block that ended up being a quilt, and then we've done a hoop as well. The past projects are not actually on the What's Sewing On page. This year's definitely is, but the previous ones, you can get those as standalone workshops if you wanted to have a go at those particular projects. So it's just all bonkers. Like I said, at the moment, it's, yeah, I'm just like, I've got ideas popping out my head left, right and centre. I think it's because we're going into autumn. I love autumn. I love this because you get like right cosy and warm, and I know I need to go and sort my garden out. That's been just shouting at me because we had all the rain last week, which was brilliant for the garden, but everything has just gone very unruly, and it's all needing cutting back and stuff like that. So I need a weekend to do that. But everything's just busy. It's busy, busy, busy. So there we go. I think that's it. I'll add loads of pictures at the end. I can't remember what I'm adding pictures of because obviously that's all just popped out my head as well. Bit of a scatterbrain, I think, today. That's what it is. It's because I'm excited and I'm happy and it's Yarndale, and yeah, just got lots of things to do. So there we go. I dream of painting and then I paint my dreams. So whatever your dreams are, whatever you have had an idea of or you've thought about, something like that, make some time just to do it. If it works, it's awesome. Even if it doesn't work, if you've had a nice time doing it, then it just makes it worthwhile. So I will say ta-da. I will be back with, I don't know when I'll be back with the next Wobble Gob, but I will definitely be putting some stuff on this weekend on my social media about Yarndale and everything that's going on. I've just remembered one thing I did need to say is I am just at the moment putting together my newsletter that will be going out about the 2026 workshops. So I'm planning some in-person ones and some online workshops next year. So if you want to be one of the first people to hear about that, pop over to my website, scroll to the bottom, add yourself to my newsletter, and I'll let you know when that comes out. So I will see everybody at some point in the future. Mwah. Love, hugs and happy stitching. Ta-da!